So Sam, it's fair to say that this isn't the first time you've been in this particular bookshop.
No, it's not.
Can you take us back maybe a year in time and give us a little bit of a picture of what happened last year?
Well, last year, as you know, I was part of your tutoring group for Oxbridge, and you gave out, as part of a mission, I suppose, free book vouchers to come here and come and pick a free book. I came about a week, about a week or 10 days-ish after you gave me that voucher, and I picked out a play, which was A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof by Tennessee Williams. I went back and read that, and I thought it was nice to read something outside of my, curriculum for English literature. But it was from a familiar author because I did A Streetcar Named Desire for coursework. But I feel like just getting the opportunity to come to a bookshop and pick out what I wanted was really nice.
So without wanting to open recent wounds or traumatise you, I've got a couple of the books that you worked with here at A-level. We've got Othello by William Shakespeare, and we've got John Webster's The Duchess of Malfi. And I thought to get our conversation rolling a bit, could you talk to me about these books and how they became important to you over the last 12 months?
Well, doing both of them as part of an A-level English literature course, it seems like my whole life sort of revolved around them for a short while. I mean, out of the two, specifically The Duchess of Malfi, I really enjoyed that as part of a production that I went to see. It was just, I'm not sure how to describe it. It was just breathtaking, I suppose. Just this sort of mix of violence and misogyny, but also this sense of hope and social mobility, all for it to come crashing down. I feel like it's just something that, as part of studying it, it's something that's really not only just interesting, but also pertinent to the world that we live in.
Well, I love that Italian word for breathless, mozzafiato, literally, you can't get your breath. The Duchess of Malfi, it has lots of rich themes to do with theology and religion.
Yeah.
Could you specifically talk to us about the theme of Catholicism as it arises in Malfi?
Well, you have the cardinal, one of the central characters of the plot, and he is, well, a cardinal. But as it turns out, he's more interested in revenge against his sister than actually upholding religious values. At one point he says, "Must return soldier then." And then later in the play, in the dumb show, he equips a suit of armour. So I feel like it's almost this critique of Catholicism and how it's not really, those who practice it aren't practicing it for their own good or for the good of others. They're doing it just for a means to seek power.
And at one point he uses a Bible as a murder weapon.
Yeah, he poisons a Bible and then Julia kisses it and dies.
So that's an unedifying behaviour for a cardinal.
Yeah.
But did you dive down into differences between, say, Catholicism and Protestantism? Did you get much of a chance to work with concepts and themes as much as characters and ideas?
Well, for religion, we dived a bit into it as part of our A-level course. We looked at different ideas of hell and predestination and how that differed between Catholics and Protestants. But I feel like religion came up a lot more for poetry for John Donne. But there are a lot of other themes that are in The Duchess of Malfi as well.
Brilliant. Now, I wanted to talk to you, and this will open old wounds. You were interviewed 3 times.
Yeah.
And you came incredibly close to obtaining an Oxford offer. In fact, you do have some offers on the table from excellent universities that I'll get you to talk about. But you're in this position now of thinking, should I try again? I'm convinced, as a tutor that's worked with you, that you are absolutely the right material and that you should go there to study. But take me back to any point in your 3 interviews that you think is significant, somewhere that we can build from this year.
I feel like for my first interview, it also applies to my third one, but mainly the first was getting an unseen poem, because how it worked is I was sent an unseen poem online about 10 minutes prior to the interview and had to look at that online, organise it to be printed off and sent to me. But then it's a lot different to how I encounter poems in a classroom setting, where I have an entire hour to look at a poem and annotate it and understand what it's really about. But because of that, I didn't really have any experience of analysing a poem in a really short time frame.
Do you feel A-level is pitched at grade B, maybe the bottom end of grade A, and can't really be pitched at A-star and Oxbridge?
Yeah, I feel like A-levels, they're designed to be accessible to try and get as many people as possible up to at least a grade B. I feel like otherwise, you'll have teachers like being accused of not doing their job. So they really have to make sure that all of their students are getting at least a decent grade. But then that sacrifices like promoting individual skill.
So do you think more interview practice or more practice with unseen material? You were sort of put on the spot and given very little time to respond. This year we'll be honing that skill, and by the time you arrive at your second set of Oxford interviews, you'll be professional. I like that aphorism, the amateur practices till he or she gets it right. The professional practices until he or she can't get it wrong. Last year, near miss. This year, definitely back of the net.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Thanks.